So this is going to be a real brief PowerPoint over grammar. It's important to do a quick grammar refresher because when we're talking about things like morphology and syntax, it's going to be important to know some of the grammar that you were taught in elementary school. So first, what is grammar? Grammar is the whole system and structure of language or languages in general, and it usually is taken as consisting of syntax and morphology, and sometimes even phonology and semantics. So again, it's taking that syntax and morphology. We had word level grammar, such as parts of speech. We also have sentence level grammar, such as like what phrases and clauses and sentences. So in order to understand language development, in order to be a speech language pathologist, to help with that, it's imperative that you know grammar. So here's an example. Here are common grammatical difficulties children with language disorders have. So getting words in the right order. They have difficulty with pronouns, with plurals, with verbs, making their tenses agree, with adverbs, with forming questions correctly, using negatives in sentences, describing, using complex sentences. And so if you don't know what an adverb is, you are going to have a hard time identifying that the child maybe is having difficulty with adverbs. And then you're going to have difficulty helping them with their adverbs if you don't know what an adverb is. So this is just going to be a quick review. If you need more of a refresher, I would recommend looking for videos on YouTube or things like that to help refresh your memory for grammar. We just don't have time to go in super depth for these different parts of grammar, but I am going to just give a quick overview. So really quickly, the parts of speech. We have a noun, which is a person, concept, place, or thing. We have pronouns, which are used in place of a noun, such as he, she, they. Verbs describe an action, occurrence, or state of being. So run, jump, is. Adjectives modify a noun or a pronoun. So happy, blue, tall. Adverbs can modify a verb, an adjective, an adverb, or whole sentences. So adverbs are things like quickly, very, well. Prepositions are used to show the relationship between the different parts of a sentence. So in, on, under, those are our prepositions. Examples. Conjunctions connect different parts of sentences. And, but, or are examples of conjunctions. We have interjections, which are used in isolation to express a feeling or give a command, or greet someone. Wow, ouch, hey. And then articles modify nouns by indicating whether they are specific or general. So the, a, as, those are all examples of articles. So it's important that you know these parts of speech. It's important we know sentence types. What's a simple sentence versus a compound sentence versus a complex sentence? So a simple sentence contains a subject and a finite verb. A compound sentence contains two or more independent clauses. And a complex sentence contains an independent clause and a dependent clause. So again, here's some examples for you. You may be thinking, okay, what's a clause? So a clause is a related group of words that have both a subject and a verb. An independent clause can stand alone in a sentence, and a dependent clause cannot stand alone. It must be joined with an independent clause. Okay? And then a phrase is a related group of words that do not have a subject and a verb. So that's going to be the difference right there between a clause and a phrase. Other things to make sure you review: types of pronouns, verb tenses, regular versus irregular verbs, regular and regular plurals, negatives, questions, noun and verb phrase elaboration, possessives. So personal pronouns, if you remember, we have first person, second person, and third person. So first person personal pronouns are going to be I, we. Second person is going to be you. Third person is going to be he, she, it, or they. So we have first person singular. We have first person possessive, Third person singular, third person possessive. So it's important to know what these mean. Okay, so make sure you do a review of those. Different verb tenses, we have past, present, and future. So we have present tense progressive, which is going to be is, ing. We have future tense progressive, so will be. Perfect progressive, so make sure you know the difference in the verb tenses for past, present, and future. Regular versus irregular verbs. So most verbs we add the ed or d or t plural marker. So called, call becomes called, move becomes moved, deal becomes dealt. Okay, but we do have some irregular ones that don't follow that pattern. So go becomes went, buy, bought, drink, drank, drunk. Okay, so make sure you know the difference in those. Irregular plural nouns. So some of them change, some of them don't change, some of them are irregular. So bus becomes buses, box becomes boxes, leaf becomes leaves. So that F is replaced with the V. Baby becomes babies. Some of them don't change, like sheep and sheep, one sheep, multiple sheep. And then some are irregular, right? Foot, feet, tooth, teeth, mouse, mice. Okay, so make sure you know those. The question words and what these represent. So who is asking about a person? Where is asking about a place or a position? When is asking about time, occasion, a moment. Why is asking for a reason or explanation. What is asking for a specific thing or object. How is asking for a way, manner, or form. Which is asking about a choice. How many is asking about quantity, and how often is asking about frequency. The noun and verb phrase elaboration, so becoming more descriptive. So we have the boy is running. Now we have the boy in the red shirt is running quickly down the street. So that noun phrase elaboration, we went from the boy to the boy in the red shirt. So elaborating on that noun. Verb phrase elaboration, we had is running, and now we have is running quickly down the street. So not only how he is running, but where he is running. So elaborating on those. And a lot of times, our students who have language disorders do have difficulty with some of that elaboration. So again, if you need a refresher on some of these, more than just this quick video that I made right here, there's lots of videos on YouTube that you can refer to, or quick reference sheets that you can look at. But again, because grammar is syntax and morphology, and those fall under the scope of practice for a speech language pathologist, it's really imperative that we know and brush up on our grammar.